Pain is a part of life, and no matter how hard we try, we can't escape it. But what separates winners from everyone else is what they decide to do when pain shows up. See, pain doesn't ask for permission, it doesn't knock before it enters. It just shows up sometimes in the middle of your dreams, sometimes right when everything seems perfect. And in that moment, you've got a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. Most people want the success, but they don't want the struggle that comes with it. They want the reward without the sacrifice, but that's not how life works. Pain is not a stop sign. It's not a signal to quit. It's a test to see how bad you really want it. There was a time I had everything laid out. I had goals, I had dreams, I had the vision, and then in a split second, everything changed. I lost what I thought was my future. I lost what I had worked my whole life for, but I didn't lose my will to fight, because you don't let your situation define your spirit. You don't let pain tell you who you are. You stand up, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts, and you say, I'm still here, I'm still in the game. Because that's what winners do. They don't wait for things to get easier, they get stronger. They don't ask for a lighter load, they ask for broader shoulders. Pain will try to whisper in your ear and tell you it's over. It'll tell you nobody would blame you for quitting, but excuses don't build character. Comfort doesn't build champions. Pressure is a privilege because it shows you what you're really made of. When life hits you, it's not to destroy you, it's to reveal you. And some of you are running from the very thing that was meant to make you great. You're asking, why me? When you should be asking, what now? What can I do with this? How can I grow from this? Winners don't waste time blaming the world. They wake up, they face the pain, and they move forward anyway. People see the glory, but they don't see the story. They see the wins, not the wounds. They see the strength, not the nights you cried and still showed up the next day. That's what resilience is. It's not about being unbreakable, it's about being unshakable. It's about saying, I might bend, but I won't break. Pain is not your enemy, it's your sculptor. Every setback, every tear, every disappointment, it's shaping you, refining you, preparing you for something bigger than you can see right now. So when you feel like giving up, when the weight gets heavy and the road feels long, remember this: pain is temporary, but surrender is forever. Quitting will follow you for the rest of your life, but if you push through, if you endure, there will come a day when your pain becomes your power, when your story becomes someone else's hope. And in that moment, you'll realize it was never just about you. It was about everybody watching, everybody depending on you to fight one more round. Winners don't need everything to go right. They just refuse to let pain make their decisions. They don't run from the fire, they walk through it, knowing they'll come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. That's what separates those who dream from those who live their dreams. Everybody wants success until it demands something from them. Commitment sounds good when it's convenient. Discipline feels right when it's comfortable. But the moment it gets hard, most people start reaching for excuses. I'm tired. It's not the right time, maybe tomorrow. That's the easy route, the comfortable route, but winners, they don't live there. They don't wake up searching for reasons why they can't. They wake up searching for reasons why they must. Because when you're committed, excuses don't stand a chance. I've seen people talk about their dreams like they're already real, but the moment life pushes them, they fold. They think passion is enough to carry them, but passion might start the journey. Commitment is what keeps it going. The real test isn't when everything is going right. It's when nothing is going right, when the plan falls apart, when nobody's clapping for you, when it feels like all your effort is invisible. That's when the excuses start creeping in. And that's when you've got to look yourself in the mirror and decide, am I interested in this or am I committed to this? Because interest clocks out when it hurts. Commitment punches in even when the world says quit. There were days I didn't feel like showing up. Days where my body was tired, my mind was heavy, and everything around me said, you've done enough. But winners know this truth. Just because you don't feel like it doesn't mean you don't do it. Your feelings don't get to dictate your future, your dedication does. You can't build greatness around your emotions, you build it around your standards. And if your standards are built on convenience, you will crumble. But if they're built on conviction, you will endure. Excuses are attractive because they protect our pride. They give us a way out without admitting we quit. But every excuse is a small surrender, a silent agreement to stay where you are. And I promise you, every time you choose an excuse over effort, you're teaching yourself to settle. But when you choose commitment, when you show up tired, when you keep going even when nobody is watching, that's when something shifts inside you. That's when habits form, character grows, and discipline becomes your new default. You can't wait for perfect timing. You can't wait for people to believe in you. You can't wait for motivation to magically appear every morning. Winners don't wait, they work. They don't say, "I'll start when I'm ready." They say, "I'll start and I'll get ready as I go." Because they understand the gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with wishes. It's filled with work. Not glamorous work, not comfortable work, relentless, uncelebrated everyday work. People think success is talent mixed with luck. No, it's discipline mixed with sacrifice. It's waking up early, staying late, and doing it again the next day. It's choosing progress over pride, purpose over excuses. It's saying, "I don't care how I feel. This is who I am, this is what I do." And the world might not see it now. They might not clap for you today. But one day they'll call it greatness. They'll say you're lucky, they'll say you're gifted. But you'll know the truth, you were just committed. So ask yourself, are your excuses louder than your dreams? Because winners don't wait for inspiration. They create it through consistency. They don't avoid responsibility, they embrace it. They don't need everything to be perfect. They just need one reason to keep going. Excuses disappear when commitment shows up. There are some things in life you just can't control. You can't control when storms come. You can't control how people treat you. You can't control every outcome, every moment, or every circumstance. But you can always control how you respond. You can control your effort, your attitude, your character, and I learned a long time ago, if you focus on what you can control, you'll never be powerless. But if you spend your life worrying about things that are out of your hands, you'll stay frustrated, bitter, and stuck. So many people lose their energy fighting battles that don't belong to them. They try to change people who don't want to change, try to force outcomes that aren't meant to be, try to rewrite stories that already happened, and on the inside, they're exhausted. You can't change the past, but you can learn from it. You can't make people support you, but you can decide to show up with integrity whether they clap or not. You can't control every opportunity, but you can be prepared when opportunity comes. Winners don't get distracted by what they can't control. They double down on what they can. Life hit me with things I never saw coming, things that should have broken me, and I had every reason to be angry, bitter, and done. But one day I asked myself, what good is it to complain about something I can't change? I couldn't control what happened to me, but I could control how I responded to it. I could control if I'd stay down or stand up. I could control if I'd blame the world or become better because of it. That's when everything shifted. I stopped asking, why me? And started asking, how can I use this? How can I grow through this instead of just go through it? When you take ownership of your effort and attitude, doors start opening. Not because the world suddenly becomes easy, but because you become stronger. Your mindset becomes your weapon. You start walking differently. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're no longer giving your power away to things you can't control. You realize control isn't about manipulating life, it's about mastering yourself. Every day you wake up, you've got two choices: focus on what's missing or focus on what's in your hands. You can complain that it's hard, or you can work with what you've got. Effort is always yours to give, attitude is always yours to choose, and character is built every time you do the right thing when you don't feel like it. Every time you show up when nobody's watching, every time you refuse to let bitterness take root in your heart. People might doubt you, circumstances might delay you, life might knock you around, but nothing can stop a person who's committed to giving everything they've got, no matter what they're facing. That's real freedom, not freedom from problems, but freedom from letting problems control you, freedom from needing everything to be perfect before you move, freedom from blaming, complaining, and waiting for someone else to make it right. Stop handing your joy, your peace, your purpose over to things you can't change. Grab hold of what you can, your work ethic, your preparation, your faith, your response. That's where your power is. That's where winners live. Not in excuses, not in blame, but in ownership. So no matter what happens, no matter what they say, no matter what it looks like, give your best, guard your attitude, and stand on your character. Control what you can, and let your effort speak louder than your circumstances. There's a moment in life where you have to decide what's louder, your purpose, or your excuses. Most people let their circumstances speak for them. They let what happened to them determine what they do next. But when you live with purpose, you stop asking life to be easy and start asking yourself to be stronger. You stop needing perfect conditions because purpose gives you direction even in the middle of chaos. Circumstances might slow you down, but they don't get to define you unless you let them. I've learned that when you don't know why you're doing something, the moment it gets hard, you'll quit. The moment it hurts, you'll walk away. But when you've got a purpose that's bigger than your pain, bigger than your ego, bigger than your excuses, you'll find the strength to keep going even when everything in you says stop. Purpose gives your struggle meaning. It turns obstacles into lessons and setbacks into setups. It whispers, "This isn't the end, keep going." There were days I wanted to stop, days when I felt broken, when I questioned everything, but I also knew it was bigger than me. I wasn't just showing up for myself, I was showing up for everybody who believed in me, for everybody who needed hope, for everybody who needed to see that no matter what happens, you can still stand. When your life becomes about more than your comfort, that's when you tap into something deeper. Purpose doesn't remove the pain, it gives you a reason to push through it. Some of you are letting temporary feelings ruin permanent opportunities. You're letting fear, doubt, and excuses talk you out of the very thing you were born to do. But purpose doesn't live in comfort zones, it lives in sacrifice, it lives in discipline. It lives in those moments where nobody's watching, where it's not glamorous, and you still choose to give your best. Purpose isn't about how you feel, it's about what you're willing to do even when you don't feel like it. People might look at your situation and think it's over. They might write you off, count you out. But they don't know what's inside you. They don't know the fire you carry. Purpose will have you standing in places you were never supposed to stand, doing things they said were impossible, simply because you believed there was more to your life than what you were going through. And when you operate from that place, everything changes. You stop chasing validation, you stop needing applause, you stop living for approval and start living for impact. You aren't defined by the hand you were dealt. You're defined by how you play it. Purpose allows you to turn your wounds into wisdom, your trials into testimonies. It reminds you that where you are is not where you'll always be, and no matter how dark it gets, there's still light inside of you. But you've got to choose it. You've got to protect it. You've got to fight for it. Because excuses will always be available, but so will greatness. So when life gets tough, don't ask for an easier path. Ask for a stronger spirit. Don't pray for lighter burdens, pray for a stronger back, because winners don't rise because everything is perfect. They rise because their purpose is greater than their problems. They rise because they refuse to let excuses silence their calling. Purpose over circumstances. Every single time, there comes a point where you've got to decide what you want more. Comfort or legacy. Comfort is easy. It feels good in the moment, it tells you to rest, to slow down, to take the shortcut. But comfort never built anything that mattered. Legacy is different. Legacy asks for sacrifice. It asks you to do the work when no one is watching, to stay disciplined when no one is clapping, to give your best even when it hurts. You don't leave a legacy by doing what's easy. You leave a legacy by choosing what's right, even when it costs you. Most people want to be remembered, but they don't want to be refined. They want the applause, but not the accountability. They want the results, but not the responsibility. But if everything you do is about your own comfort, you'll always choose what's convenient instead of what's meaningful. Legacy doesn't live in convenience, it lives in consistency. It lives in those decisions you make when no one will ever know except you and God. It lives in the way you treat people, the way you fight through adversity, the way you refuse to let excuses write your story. There were nights I lay awake, wondering if all the sacrifice was worth it, when the pain was louder than the progress, when it felt like I was giving everything and getting nothing in return. But legacy reminded me, this isn't about today. This isn't about how I feel in this moment. This is about who I'm becoming and what I'm leaving behind. And when you start thinking like that, you stop needing immediate results. You stop chasing temporary applause. You start investing in something that will outlive you. Legacy isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you impact. It's about the people who will stand stronger because you didn't quit. The kids who will dream bigger because they saw you keep going. The lives that will be touched not by what you said but by how you lived. That's why you can't let excuses run your life. Excuses satisfy you for a moment, but they rob you of your future. You might get temporary relief, but you lose long-term purpose. Winners don't ask, "How can I make this easier?" They ask, "How can I make this meaningful?" They don't chase comfort, they chase growth. They don't try to avoid the fire. They walk through it because they know there's something on the other side that comfort could never give them. Comfort is about right now, legacy is about forever, and if you keep choosing comfort, you'll spend your life wondering what could have been. But if you choose legacy, you might struggle, you might hurt, you might cry, but you'll never regret it. Every decision you make is either building your legacy or breaking it. Every time you show up when it's hard, you add a brick. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you add a brick. Every time you choose character over convenience, you add a brick. And one day, people will look at what you built, not with your words, but with your life, and they'll say, "That's what commitment looks like. That's what purpose looks like. That's what a life without excuses looks like." So don't waste your life chasing what feels good. Chase what matters. Don't settle for being remembered for your comfort. Be remembered for your courage, your effort, your heart. Because excuses fade, comfort fades, but legacy remains. Chase legacy, not comfort.